Well, the American media were integral to creating the narrative that the Trump campaign colluded with Vladimir Putin to hack the election. No evidence of that has come out yet. And now those same outlets are pretending the whole thing never happened. They never claim that. But that doesn't mean they've grown uninterested in the Mueller investigation. In fact, they treat that investigation's efforts as sacred, even though Mueller's team of lawyers includes 13 Democrats, 3 independents, and no Republicans, unless you include Mueller himself. Lee Smith is a senior fellow at the Hudson Institute and a media columnist for Tablet Magazine. He joins us tonight. So, Lee, whatever you think of the Russia investigation, or whatever you anticipate we're going to learn from it, you can't deny that the press alleged, in effect, collusion for months.
Yes.
It's a little much to pretend they didn't, right?
This was going on well before the election. It went on even well before the stories that we know were attributed to have, or believed to have come from the Steele dossier.
Right.
That was the Yahoo News piece and then the Mother Jones piece. This started in July. If you look, there is a campaign, an information operation. The press is already going on, prestige publications and the American press, who are going after different figures in the Trump campaign, namely Carter Page. The whole thing is ridiculous. And if you look at the way they're attacking Carter Page, it's like, no one knows who Carter Page is at this point. It's like they're talking about Brzezinski or Kissinger or something like that.
But so if I were covering the auto industry and I were repeating uncritically every talking point GM sent me, that would not make me a journalist. That would make me basically an employee of GM. It seems like reporters are doing that with the intel community and with the Mueller investigation.
Yes, it's actually shameful, the idea that the American press is working, has been working for a while with the intelligence community, taking leaks from them. Many of these leaks, of course, are illegal, like with the leak of Michael Flynn. Exactly, the way that they're working in an information operation along with the intelligence community. Yeah, it's a horrible thing to have happened to the press. And the press did it to themselves.
Well, but you can hurt yourself as a journalist if you're not relentlessly skeptical. And I always thought, even though journalists have always been liberal, I get it, I've done it my whole life. But skepticism was a thing that tied all journalists together. Whatever happened to that?
I think a lot of different things have happened. It's not just about the press leaning toward the left, which is usually, again, that's the way the press has always been.
For sure.
Something very different happened here. And I do believe that there will be a price to pay. I do believe that different people, once the Russiagate narrative starts to fade away more and more, once the dossier nonsense has gone through, I believe that people will look back and they will say, what happened here? What did the press do? We enjoyed it. It was like a bunch of chocolates. We enjoyed it. We got a rush from it. But now we don't believe that we can trust them anymore. I think that's going to be the upshot of this.
I know you're not here to talk politics, but since you live in Washington, I just very quickly can't resist. Can you run a midterm election on Russian collusion? Like, can the Democrats win on this story? I know whole cable shows are devoted to this.
I don't see how. What are they going to do? They're going to run against Vladimir Putin? No, I think it's much more likely the Republicans are going to wind up running against people like Adam Schiff. They're going to wind up running against people. They're going to wind up running against people, senior Democratic figures who may have played a very destructive role in the 2016 elections. And I think if we look at the different investigations on the Hill, the Senate Judiciary Committee and the House Intelligence Committee, it looks like there are senior Democrats who have done some very bad things. I think it doesn't look great for them heading into 2016.
Yeah, I think they've heard. If I were a Democrat who wanted to talk about economics or a real issue, I'd be very mad at Adam Schiff. Lee, thank you. That was really interesting.
Thanks for having me, Tucker. Thanks for your comment.